For so many people starting a company, the whole process of growth feels like, well, just pure chaos. It's this wild, unpredictable ride where you're just guessing what's around the corner. It's kind of like you're navigating in the dark without a map. But what if I told you that all that chaos isn't actually random? That underneath it all, there's a predictable path, a pattern with distinct stages that pretty much every business goes through. It turns out there is a map, and it's the one thing you've been missing. So that's the big question, right? What are these stages? How do you figure out where your business is right now? And maybe even more important, how do you see what's coming next? Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to walk through this incredible 5-stage framework from the Harvard Business Review. It's a classic for a reason. It brings some much-needed order to the messy, often crazy, process of growing a business. The first part of this journey, well, it's all about one thing and one thing only: survival. These are the early days, the foundational struggles where you're just trying to keep the lights on. It all begins at stage 1, existence. The problems here are about as fundamental as they get. Can we actually get customers? And can we deliver what we promise them? The owner is doing literally everything. And the biggest trap here is trying to be everything to everyone, instead of just focusing on that one core customer you can really help. Okay, if you make it to stage 2, hey, congratulations, you're now in survival mode. This means your idea actually works. But now the game changes. It's all about cash flow. Are you making enough money to cover your bills? The real danger here, though, is getting too comfortable. Survival isn't success, It's really just a holding pattern, and way too many businesses get stuck right here for years. And that brings us to what might just be the most important moment in a founder's entire journey. You've survived, you're stable, and now you're standing at a massive crossroads. Because stage 3 is success. You did it. The business is healthy, it's profitable, everything is kind of humming along. But that very success forces you to make a huge decision, a decision that's going to define the entire future of your company. What do you do with it? And here's where it gets really interesting. You've got 2 paths, and they could not be more different. On one side, you can choose to disengage. Basically, keep the company as a stable, profitable cash cow that supports your lifestyle. Or you can choose growth, and that means you take all that profit, all that stability you work so hard for, you push it all to the center of the table, and you risk everything for a shot at something much, much bigger. It is the biggest gamble you'll ever make. So let's say you take that gamble. You choose growth. What happens then? Well, that choice throws you headfirst into the final 2 stages of the whole process, scaling up. Stage 4 is called takeoff, and man, the name is perfect. It's a total rocket ship ride. It's fast, it's exhilarating, and it is incredibly dangerous. The main problems are all about speed. How do you grow this fast? How do you pay for it? And can you, the owner, finally learn to let go? Because the number one reason businesses fail in this stage is the founder becomes a bottleneck. If you can't learn to delegate, your business can never outgrow you. And finally, if you survive all that, you hit stage 5, resource maturity. You've arrived. The company is a major force in your industry. But now there's a new challenge, a new enemy to fight: stagnation. How do you keep that startup fire alive when you're big and comfortable? How do you avoid becoming slow and bureaucratic? Now, this chart might look a little crazy at first, but it really tells the whole story. See that bold line right up the middle? That's the dream path, right? Going from existence all the way to maturity. But look at all these other arrows. See this one? That's a company falling from success right back down to survival. And this one over here? A failed takeoff attempt that sends them tumbling. This proves it's not a simple ladder. It's a map where you can go backwards just as easily as you go forwards. So, what does all this mean for you? What do you actually do with this? Well, the most powerful part of this whole framework is understanding that what you focus on has to change, and change dramatically, with every single stage. Okay, this chart might look a little like a bowl of spaghetti, but trust me, the secret sauce is right in there. Each one of these curved lines represents something you have to worry about as a manager, things like cash, or planning, or your own role. The whole trick is knowing which line to pay attention to and when. So let's just break down the 2 most important shifts. So here's the key. In the beginning, in stages 1 and 2, the business is pretty much built entirely on your personal skills as the owner. Your ability to sell, your ability to build, your ability to code. The company is a direct reflection of your ability to do stuff. But watch what happens as you get ready for that big takeoff.
Your ability to do things becomes way less important, and this other line, your ability to delegate, shoots up and becomes absolutely critical. You literally have to stop being the star player and start being the coach. And I'm telling you, this is the one transition that trips up so many founders.
And just look at the wild ride that cash takes. At the very beginning, it is absolutely critical, right? Then, if you get to that success stage, it actually becomes manageable. You might even feel like you can finally breathe. But then, boom, the second you hit the gas and go for growth, cash is king again, shooting right back up to being your number one concern. You can never, ever take your eye off of it.
So you see, this framework isn't just some theory from a textbook. It's a diagnostic tool. It's a map that helps you understand not just the problems you're facing today, but also to see what's waiting for you right around the corner. So the final question is pretty simple. Which stage are you in, and are you ready for what's coming next?